Woo!
Two smart skits.
How are you guys doing this morning? It is your big sister, Denise Jenkins. Once again, today's topic is rolling out Wisdom Wednesday. And I put in my synopsis, I will be kicking that knowledge without a degree from college. Okay, guys, listen here. Oh my gosh, I have so much to talk about. It's like my cosmic energy is in full effect today. You ever been challenged, spiritually challenged, and mentally challenged? Forget the physical challenge, but the physical challenge really doesn't matter, but the mental challenge and a physical, no physical, but spiritual. Okay? Guys, let me tell y'all something. Today is Wednesday. Some people consider this to be hump day. You want to get over that hump. So I wanted to bring a little comedy to my podcast today. And while I'm doing my comedy, I want to kick real knowledge to you, my sisters and my brothers. Now, as you do know, I am very glad at myself for my sobriety years and for my months being drug free from marijuana. I got a lot of letters and a lot of comments, and I'm telling you, people, I was surprised because let me tell you something. As people, we are our biggest critics and our worst enemy. Besides our family, we are our worst enemies. And let me tap on that when I said family. Your family does know a lot of things about you. And sometimes they may twist your life story around to make them look really good and sophisticated. But I already told y'all what my mama said. If anybody got to put you down just for themselves to have all the glory and delight, ass a shit. Okay. Anyway. Okay. I just I'm happy. I could truly say that I'm a happy woman. And what's so exciting what my new life is, I never thought I could live like this before. I never did. Unhappy days are so crucial for anyone. Okay? Anyone can have an unhappy day and it could be crucial. But I'm going to give you some new words to tell people that you care about them. You know how people will say some stuff like, oh man, I'm so mad at you because they'll be mad about something. Try this on for size. When someone is doing something good, you let them know, I am so glad at you. Oh, I am glad at you, girl. No, whoa. I'm so glad at you, boy. Look what you're doing with yourself. You know, encouragement goes a long way, like being polite and respect. Don't be a sucker duck because you cannot fit in with everybody. So sometimes it's best to just chill and be by yourself. You know what I mean? I feel like I feel like a big old balloon right now. Like I have this extra amount of happiness in my life right now. And I just thank God for that. And so what I want to do is I want to start this podcast off like I start off my other ones with a prayer. Heavenly Father, I come to you this morning and I'm thanking you for this beautiful podcast. I pray that my viewers be blessed, my lookers be blessed, the listeners, the hearers, all of the above be blessed. Thank you, God, for putting it in my mind to even do this podcast. Thank you for letting me be selfless when it comes to other people and not selfish at all. I thank you, God. I pray in Jesus' name, all these things. Amen. Now, I just want everyone to know something right quick. Cosmic justice is real. Okay, that's like justice from the cosmics. I think we call that karma. Okay, karma is a mug. Okay. Now, I have a few stories I want to tell you guys about some cosmic justice that has gone down in a few of my viewers' life. And they wrote me and told me, girls, this is what happened to me. So let me tell you guys a couple of fun stories. Okay. Well, this first young lady, she wrote me and she told me that it was a time in her life where her man had cheated on her and she was in total darkness about everything. And she come outside one day just to be out there. She gets this phone call from her daughter. Her daughter is sick. She rushes over, pick up some medicine for her daughter. Her daughter is 21, mind you, okay? But it doesn't really matter how old you are always going to be your mama baby. Okay. So she goes over there. She's doctoring on her daughter in the other room. So her cousin is in the other room with her man. So she comes out of the room and she catches her cousin saying, "Today her birthday," like that. So she didn't really like pay attention to it, because she really had her daughter on her mind. So when she looked at her boyfriend, he was looking at his calendar on the phone. And her cousin, had this little devious smile to herself like that. So 9 years later, her cousin is married to a guy, and the guy leaves her and is cheated on her, and people that she knew about it. So she was just cracking up laughing in this letter. She laughed so hard. So I was like, now that is cosmic justice right there. That is cosmic justice. You do not do nothing like that, underhanded stuff to people, and you think that you're untouchable and it can't happen to you. Cosmic justice can happen to anyone. We call it karma over here on this side of the fence. Okay. Um, oh my goodness. So then I go on. Another young lady, her experience. She was in a town, and it was foreign to her. But I don't care where you go at in America. If you have a device in your life, it doesn't matter where you go at, you're going to recognize your brothers and sisters who have that same device. Okay. So she's found her device. So she meets this guy. He is off the chain. Okay. She goes up there and they start doing their little business. Okay. As time went on, okay, now this shorty is sexy fly. She's a sexy fly shorty. Okay. And so she's doing her thing, making the money. She's in a new city doing new things. Okay. So now this female uh that her boy has starts to act funny with her, hating on her swagger. Whew. So after a couple of times of going over there and she's standing in the background laughing and giggling with this other friend of hers, homegirl was like, "Well, you know what? I go to your house. You tell me to come. Your girlfriend's acting like she can't do what I ask her. So I'm not going to come over there anymore. Why don't you meet me somewhere? You know?" So they started to meet up places and they would do their device exchange. Okay. Now, she don't see this dude for a whole 2 months because she's moved. She comes back on the other side of town and she sees him because he's waiting for her right outside of his car. He's waiting. So she was like, "Wow, I was just getting ready to call you." She was with another female friend of hers. And she goes, "This is the guy I was telling you about. This is my homie. This is him." And so she goes to her. She looks at him and she goes, "Where's your girl at?" And so the girl that used to be in the house with his girlfriend laughing at this shorty was sitting beside him. And she goes, "Oh, we together now." So So she said she started laughing so hard because she can remember those days when she would be in the house with this young lady right here, laughing and giggling at the other lady knocking on the door. They was hating on her swagger, and she just disliked her because she had that swagger. You know what I mean? That country sexy play swagger. And this woman was just hating and hating and trying to make her time hard for her because she felt like she was after her dude. And the girl really was not after her dude. She was after the device. You feel me? So if she finds out that the girl that you was hating on me with is the one that's with your dude, she just fell over laughing so hard. I mean, extra hard, 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 hard. I mean, she didn't even need the blunt after, but she still had it, you know? That was some funny stuff. I told her that is cosmic justice. Cosmic justice, also known as karma, is something else. Okay. And it will hit your heart. It really would. And so my advice to people out there who have been done wrong in some sort of a way, leave it to cosmic justice. Cosmic justice will come at them and take a big bite out of that behind, baby. I have one more cosmic justice before I get on to my hater testimonies. This young lady, she had a job at a store. Okay, beautiful, beautiful black queen. And the guy that owned the store was a very good friend of her family. So she worked there hours making good money. And she was just a teenager, you know. She was about 18, as she told me. She was 18 years old. So now his wife, the store owner's wife, sees her and she automatically starts to hate this young woman, giving her a hard time, putting extra work out there, which it didn't really matter to the young woman because she didn't have children, you know. So she did the extra work, which got her extra money. So when she caught on to the fact that all this hard time she was trying to give to this young black woman, it was making her life better because she had more money to do more things and save up to move into her own place. So she started trying to be very nasty with her. And so it was a certain young lady that would come into the store with her and they'll laugh and giggle together. Oh my God. And just do things, you know. So the young lady being 17, her birthday was that day. And this woman came in the store and was laughing and talking with the store owner's wife. So the young lady looked at the store owner's wife and the other lady and just peaked game. She's thinking to herself, wait a minute. One day you wasn't here, and that same woman came in here with a little boy that looked just like your kids. So this lady, she kept on, kept on. The store owner's his wife just kept egging at her. So eventually she told her husband the young lady had to go. Okay. So she leaves. Okay. A year later, the young lady comes back to the store just to buy some drinks and stuff in there. And the woman that she used to giggle with was at the counter. And she was like, how are you doing? She was like, I'm doing fine. How are you? She said, so where's the other lady? Where's Alicia? She goes, oh, after me and Thomas got together, she left. So she goes, so she found out about you? She said, yes. And then she just bust out laughing because it's like the one who you think is the one is not the one, is somebody you would least expect be in your time. You understand what I'm saying? So when I saw that Keisha Cole's video, I was like, oh my gosh, this thing right here is some things that really happen. I know a couple of people that has happened to, where they sneaking around and they get into an accident together and go away together. And I'm like, how could you grieve over a guy like that? How? If he is, this is your husband and he dies with his mistress. I can understand if someone is pissed off, about this because you really don't know what you would do. I've never been in that situation. My heart goes out to all of my sisters around the world who's ever been in a situation like that because I'm sure that's a painful thing. And either to have a friend that you console and tell things to, you counsel with her, and then you find out that she's the one that's been messing around with your dude. That is something. Cosmic justice is funny to me. And that's why I thank God that I do not have this big old ego. No, no, no. And I call my house no man's land. Okay, because see, no man can come in here and make no rules in my house. You feel me? Now, I don't own this house, but I love this house. And the reason why I love this house so much is because God gave this to me. I do not consider my place because I'm not supposed to. And the Bible says a man who considers his place will lose his place. Not just a place of dwelling, but your place out on your job in the world. You start to consider that it's gone. Do you know what I mean? But I just want you guys to know that anything that God gives to you, be happy with what you have, appreciate it, treat it good, and it will last, and God will bring you more gifts. He will give more things to you. You know what I mean? I live here in the court. So a lot of people say that the area that I live in is very bad, and it can get a little rough at times. There's haters everywhere. So I'm not the only person I know with haters. But let me tell you something. It's a difference when someone is hating on you because you're doing something that you're not supposed to be doing. You know what I mean, right? But when they hating on you because you doing something good and you getting down with it and you like that and you just rolling and you doing good and they hating on you, that's the kind of hate that you want. They had to hate it. I done left out them streets. I done graduated. They so belated. Mad at me because the won't get faded. You feel what I'm saying? Girl, please. I really love my attitude towards life now. And there's so many things out here in this world that are just for you. Have you ever had something in your house and you never needed it? And then you meet someone and they need it? Exactly. Because it was there all those years just for you to give it away. And let me tell you, that I have two personal stories about that. Okay. I stayed in Mactown, Macon, Georgia. Bibb County, I love you people. Awesome people at that time, because I'm 50 years old now. And during that time, I was like 27. I was 28, 26. Yeah, I stayed there for 3 years in Macon, Georgia. So let me tell you guys, I'm living right next door, and this lady moves next door to me. Her name is Miss Edna. And I done went to Central Georgia Technical College. I have taken up Secretary of Science, Psychology, and Journalism. Those were my three subjects that I took up over at Central Georgia Tech. CGT, and I still have my college ID. What a time in my life. So, Miss Edna, I don't know her from Adam's apple. Her and my mom started to talk, and they're two older women, and so they start talking. Um, and then I'm in the front room, and my mom. It doesn't matter when this woman was alive. She can make friends anywhere she went. Anywhere she went, she made friends. People just was drawn to my mother. And because of her, people were drawn to me. Okay. So her and Miss Edna are sitting there. So Miss Edna, me, my mom, and Miss Edna, we're sitting there and we're having a sister session. Okay. And she starts to say, I'm about to go over here back to college, over here at Central Georgia Tech. And I'm going to take a Secretary of Science, journalism, and psychology, but I can't afford the books right now. I'm going through a divorce and I just got this apartment here and I can't afford the books. So while she's talking, I'm looking at my mom and my mom looking at me. We're like, so she goes, okay, what's that about? So we said, well, I got the books that you need. I have them. I've already done my work. I graduated. I've done everything I need to have done with these books, and I still got them. So I just jumped up and went and got the books and gave them to her. And she just bursts out crying. And I'm like, why are you crying? She said, because girl, you just don't know. The marriage that was in, I was in a marriage with a controlling man. And I prayed to God that I could go back to school and complete what I started. So before I ever met this woman and before she even come into my life, she'd been wanting to do what I had done. And I had no more use for it. And I had exactly what she needed. And I was so glad that she could come and get it for me. And I was even extra glad that God gave it to me so I could give it to her. I was so glad. Miss Edna, wherever you are, I love you so much. And I hope everything went good with you and your schooling, because we left, we went to another part. I loved that place. It was so awesome. I met a lot of people there that I love. My mama met a lot of people that she loved, and it was a very nice town back in those days. Um, when I went back there, I I went back to the neighborhood that I used to live in, and they had torn it down. They torn it down because they were making it into a place for elderly people and people that had mental health issues but they could still take care of themselves in that area. And I'm like, well, that's a good area because you got Mercer College there, you have all of these wonderful, the campus, the bridge, everything is beautiful. At that time it was very beautiful. And that's one of my testimonies right there of good faith. And so this next one is personal as well. Okay, back in the day before I became this Denise Jenkins, I used to be a little wild child Denise Jenkins. Okay, and I ended up in the system. And so while I was in the system, I worked on one side, and then on the other side, I think my son just went past. They moved me from one side to the other side. So I got over there and I was working in the kitchen. Okay. So one day we're outside and I'm having a smoke, with the other women that work in the kitchen with me. So we're in the kitchen. I go off a little bit and I see this little shiny object in the grass. And so I pick it up and it was a cross. It was a cross and it had Jesus on the cross. And on the back of it, it had some writing, some initials. And when I got it, I never put it on. I had had it for about 6 or 7 months. And so one day I saw another woman and she had on a necklace. I was like, yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the plastic little band, put around my cap, and I'm gonna put this cross on it and I'm gonna wear it. So I did. I wore it. Okay, guys. Oh, so I'm in line. I'm the last one in line for chow. Okay. I'm going on over here, and there's this lady sitting there. And so I'm like, oh God, I don't want to sit with this lady, man. Look at all my friends over there. I want to go there. I was really young, really young. And I was in the system, yes, and very young. So I see her. I don't want to sit with her, but I end up sitting with this lady anyway. I'm sitting there. I'm mad, mad, mad. Because I wanted to sit over there with my homies, you know. So I'm eating my food, and then all of a sudden I heard someone goes like that, right? So I thought she was about like she choked on her food. So I look up at her, and she goes, you know, her eyes start to well up. This beautiful white woman. She had red curly hair, and I'm looking at her, right, and I'm like, what is it? Did I do something wrong? And she started to cry. So I said, what's wrong? She goes, that cross on your neck. I said, yeah, I found it outside here. I said, I found it in the grass. And so she starts crying. And she said, it's mine. And if you don't believe me, we could go to security and they can tell you that that's my cross. She said, it's some initials on the back of it. And on the back of it, she read off the initials. Her friend on his dying bed he was dying from AIDS, and he gave it to her as a gift to remember him by. And she was like, she told me what was on the back of it, and then she started to cry. And then I started to cry because I was only 21, 22 years old and in the system. Okay. And so she said, please, if you don't believe me, let's go up to security. I'll tell you. I've been reported about 9 months ago. And it was like 9 months ago that I had found this thing. So I said, no, you don't have to do that. I took it off and I gave it to her. And when I gave it to her, she just stood up and she said, stand up. And I stood up and she gave me a hug. She had hugged me so tight. And she was so small and frail. And she was a beautiful woman. She was a white woman. And she had red, curly hair. And at that time when I was in the system, um, my mother had my 3 children, and she could not send money to me. And I did not want my mother to send no money to me because she had my 3 children. So I wasn't going to the store for commissary. I would eat in the kitchen. And I would get commissary by sneaking out a bell pepper or onion or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the system, the prison system. Okay. And she said to me, she said, is there anything that I could do for you? I said, no, no, ma'am. I couldn't think of nothing. I said, no, ma'am. She says, do you go to the store? I said, no. And I told her what I just told you about my mom with my kids. So she said, I will go to the store for you. As long as you are here, I will go to the store and get you whatever you want. And I was like, are you serious? And she was like, yes, I'm serious. She was like she came from a wealthy family. And whatever I wanted, she would get it. I mean, I would have commissary like I actually had money and I didn't have no money. And so I knew that was from the good Lord. I knew it was because I didn't wear that necklace until that day. And on that day, I gave it up to her. Yes, it was. Davisboro State Prison for Women is where I was. And I like to tell people my true stories because my true stories are my real life. And I don't like to make it up. It's a real life, a real, real life, everything. So, guys, that was one of my true stories, heartwarming. Yes, of course. There have been a lot of things that happened in my life. And then when other people share their stories with me, I love that because I know that they're being real. It's nothing manufactured, nothing made up. It's the truth. It's real. Now, let me tell you something. When I was a child, and I was growing up in the seaport here, I had a burning desire to go to New York City. I've always wanted to go to New York City, and I've never been there. Okay. So if I met someone who was from New York City, the first thing that I would say to them is, how you doing? Okay. I introduce myself. We start talking. The first question is, do you know Run DMC? Do you know Salt and Pepper? Do you know LL Cool J? Do you know the Beastie Boys? Do you know Curtis Blow? Do you know Queen Latifah? These people would be like, no, 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 no. I went to school with him. Nope, 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 nope. Because they're like, I went to school with her. Oh, I lived around the corner from this guy, and that and this didn't matter where I was. I would, if I met someone from New York, I thought in those days that New York was the bomb because everything came from New York City, you know? And I thought, oh my gosh, one day I'm gonna get to New York City. One day I'm gonna go. Because I always wanted to go to New York City. So when I met my son's father, and he was from New York, he's from the Bronx, I was like, oh my God, oh my goodness, I'm going to New York one of these days. That never happened. So, but I will get to New York one day. I know I will. I have that faith, and I'll get there. I will. But anyway, I did that. Okay. Now it's time for the hater testimonies. Okay, now that's another steak. Wow. Okay. Every once in a while in our life, we face adversities. Some people have bigger adversities than other people. Some have small, some have big. But what my mama used to tell me, you think that what you're going through is a bad thing, but there's somewhere in this world where someone is going through something worse than you are. And I used to be like, who could be going through anything worse than this? But there are people who have a lot of haters, big time, but they don't give up. Now, let me tell you how I gather my strength from my haters in the modern time. Okay. I look at documentaries of Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Madam C.J. Walker, who else? Benny Wine, Bob Marley, uh, uh, just a lot of those documentaries of Harriet Tubman, number one. Um, you know, I look at the documentaries and Nikki Barnes. Now, out of all of those that I just called out, Nikki Barnes is a person that I really admire. And let me tell you why. Because Nikki Barnes used to be an addict. And then he gave it up and became the man, the king. You know what I mean? So I mean, I saw his documentary and I look at him and like, okay, God dog it. So that's why when I get on my podcast, 'cause my podcast is simply for people like me. People who are in the storm right now. And I want you to see life on the other side of that fence without being all whirled up in that storm. I want you to see what it's like to be free from a demon substance, being on a natural high from a demon substance. You know what I mean? And so when I see his story, I was like, what the what? And he was like a king everywhere. People respected him and his crew. I know what he was doing wasn't a good thing, but look how this man came from being a user to being the dude everyone had to look up to come to. That reminded me of my Uncle Buck. My Uncle Buck back in the day, he was on drugs, right? When he went away and he came back, my uncle just blew up. He owned clubs, he owned houses and properties, and people that he used to get down with he was their dude to come to. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to glorify what these two guys did, but it's just the thing, the mindset that they had was like, I'm not going to go back to it. I know what I could do And they did it. I look at Malcolm X and Martin Luther King because they had a lot of haters in the FBI. Fred Hampton, FBI hated them. But it did not stop these men from doing what they were going to do. Madam C.J. Walker, black woman trying to make a difference way back then, the first black woman to be a millionaire in her era. Can you imagine if Madam J. Walker was alive now, how famous and rich she would be? So I get my strength from them. Gandhi, all of them. They had a lot of haters on a high level. They was doing next level things, so they had next level haters. Because that's what I'm doing. I'm doing next level things. So I got next level haters who come hard. And the harder they come, the better I get. You know? Because one thing I want you guys to notice is that if you talk about people and like if you're talking about somebody past, like people like to dwell on my past and try to take it and try to make me feel ashamed about it. And I don't. I don't feel ashamed about it. I feel like a superhero about it. Because I'm like, look at me now, Shorty. What's up? You mad about that? Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I don't care. I don't. I don't care if you don't like me because I love me. Now, the me I used to be had so many friends. Oh my goodness. But the me I am now, no friends because I'm doing it and I'm doing it and I'm doing it well. That's why. So when I look at my documentaries on my ancestors and everything that they risked their lives to do, I gather strength from that. Because look at me. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. There was a sacrifice for me to be here. And I tell people, if you are going to school and you got good books and you can walk down the street and nobody don't spit on you or try to spray paint your face white and try to blow up your house on Sunday while you eating dinner, you go to school and you sitting right next to a white person and y'all slapping five and everything all right and you a dream come true. If you black and you doing anything that we could not do or we was not allowed to do or the people from that era in life told us that we could never do, if you a black lawyer, you a dream come true. If you a black judge, you a dream come true. If you own anything and you black, you are a dream come true. You got that immaculate strength like me, you a dream come true. Because drugs was not grown in America, but when it came straight to the black neighborhoods. It did. It tore our neighborhoods down. It did. But when we can stand up and tell somebody, oh yeah, I used to be on that drug. And they say something to you like, really? My sister, my brother, how did you do that? How did you make it over that hump? And you know what I tell them? If you got that issue in your life, when you pray, ask God to take the taste of that thing out of your mouth. Take it, the thought out of your mind, the craving for it out of your flesh. Mean it, believe it, and you'll receive it, is what I tell people all the time. Because I have no shame in my pain. No shame in my pain. Let me explain. I have no shame in my pain. Let me explain. If you're trying to use my past to make me feel shame, the only thing that you're doing is bringing me pain. I am word proof, bitch. I got alligator skin. I can turn my pain to strength. like my ancestors did back then. So go ahead, turn on your faucets, yeah, on full blast. And at the same time, you can kiss my ass. I even got dry haters in my family. And as you can see, that shit don't bother me because I'm word proof, bitch. I'm word proof. I am word proof, bitch. I'm word proof. So keep on talking shit and you gonna keep on missing me, bitch. I'm word proof. Yeah, I'm word proof. Look here. I'm more man than you and I ain't even got no penis. You see a strong black woman and you wanna be us, but you can't. I wear good girl pants, so you can step back with your funky black ass. I am word proof and I know this truth. So shoot your shot, shoot your shot. You're gonna miss me, boo. That's right. So for every person that you see out there in this world that is addicted to some kind of device, these are some of the smartest people that you would ever meet. There's no one like me, never been, and there never will be. Okay, now that's my hater testimony. I'm word proof. Way down. Word proof. So, my advice to anyone who's coming in from that storm into that jungle life out there, you're going to make it out with a strong mind. Out of sight is out of mind. Out of sight is out of mind. And being that Black women and Black America, we get tossed around and drove through the mud, boy, so bad. And that's only because we intimidate people. We intimidate our people, our Black people, and we intimidate white people who aren't so fond of us on the low low. Okay? And my advice to anyone who is in that struggle and you have tried to stop many times, so many times before, and you did not get the support that you wanted and needed, what I want you to understand this. You're not going to get that support from those people. That person that you're trying to impress, if they're acting like what you're doing is not about anything, they are totally jealous of you. That's a deadly jealous. When a person is jealous of you or a person is in competition with you and you don't know it, they do not like what you're doing because it's positive and they want to see you messed up. I have a relative whose wife told them, I'd rather see you living up under that bridge. This man is living nice. His whole life has changed. And he is living very well. And her issue is she's jealous of his new lifestyle. So she come at him with ugly words and try to pour salt on him, throw shade on him, try to bring him strife, and none of that stuff works because he gets up, he keep on going, and nothing that can be said could stop him. And that's because he know about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X too, Fred Hampton. They had to kill our leaders for them to quit, to stop the power. But now they're trying to take away our freedom of speech in our raps. What's that about? And then when I saw the trial, a Black judge, a Black attorney, the Black police is, oh my God. That's what I was thinking. If you people like me, then you know exactly what I was thinking. Okay. Wow. Anyway, guys, back to the hater testimony. I know you like that little flow. You like that flow? I know it. I know that. Anyway, this hater testimony came from, and believe it or not, Los Angeles. A woman from Los Angeles came upon my comments, and I could not believe it. I just couldn't. I could not believe it. She used to be in a gang back in her day. She was in a gang. And she did not have a lot of friends in her hometown. So she left. And that's when she got to Los Angeles. When she got to Los Angeles, before she got there, okay, she didn't have much of anything. But when she got to Los Angeles, she completely came up. She manufactured her own life. Her skills, she doubled her skills. When she first started her project, it was in her other hometown. She claims Los Angeles as her hometown because that's where she got her love from. And so the other day when I said that our Heavenly Father say that a prophet is not famous in their own hometown, you got to go get your life. She was telling me, thank you for that. Because she's been telling her grandkids this for years and they were not listening to her. But after she saw my segment and she brought them around to see what I was saying, now they believe her. She tried so hard in the hometown that she was from to get her a restaurant started. And let me tell you, people stole her recipes because she said her burgers are so the bomb. And when I get to LA, I am coming to your house because I want that. I want it. I want this burger that she made. Okay. They stole her recipes. They talked about her. They tried to make it look like she didn't make that stuff herself. She stole the recipe. But the thing about when you steal somebody's recipe, you better know for sure that you do have the right book. They did not have the right book. She had the right book. And guess where it was? In her head. That part right there, I love that part of your letter. I love that. And now she's in LA. She's making money. She's like big time. She owned 3 homes. This woman stayed in the projects. Okay. She owned 3 homes and 2 restaurants. That's why I tell you people, go get your life. The reason why God made cities of rest is that reason. The city you in, you may not be being blessed. You need to go and get your life somewhere else. You know, see your life. Look at it. What you need to change. It could be your surroundings, your friends, your whole city. Because people will hold you back. They will love you in your face, behind your back, they'll hate you and disgrace your name. Especially if you don't see all that potential that they see in you. Ooh, they'll take, come on, let's go down the street and pick at that lady up there. Let's go rob something. Let's go take something. You know, they get away. You get caught. The friends that you keep could be the people that's holding you back. You can have people in your family to hold you back too. I have that as a personal experience with family, you know. So you got to be careful, you know, especially when you're trying to do something. Don't tell nobody what you're doing because, you know, keep it to yourself. Don't let them know about the good things that you got in your mind. They'll try to steal your stuff. Oh yeah, and I want to tell you girls this. All right, now you all of you know I had glaucoma, right? And you know that I have a lazy eye. Okay. But okay. So sometimes if I don't go outside, my lazy eye it won't lay down as much. Okay. I can only be out that door like 3 hours tops. After that, I get really sick to my stomach, my head hurts. I have to stand in the shower with cold water like beating down on my head so that my whole body can cool off. And I take my medications to stop the migraine pain, and it hurts so bad when that happened. So I try to do my own eyelashes because let me tell you, one time I spent $90 in 3 days trying to get my eyelashes right. Every time while I was in there getting my eyelashes done, they were perfect, you know. But after I went home, took my shower, and just trying to wash my face and stuff, they would come off. I was like, I'm tired of this. I'm spending all this money, like $30 every day, because it would come off every day. So then I discovered something. This is what I discovered. Okay. Now, let me show you now. These eyelashes. Some of you people, females, may look at this and be like, oh, or whatever. But again, I'm word proof and I don't care. This is for people like me. Okay. Anyway, um, so what I do is I take a long, just right here. Do you see that? I take that long ones like that, and then I'll take these. These are like medium in the middle. Okay, you see them? All right, they're not the same size. 5B, 5B. And if they are, what I do is I take some, I'll take them and push them back. But the secret to getting them on is this Elmer's glue. I use Elmer's glue, and I put the Elmer's glue on the tip of my eyes, right there, right there on the lobe at the bottom. I put them on. Then I'll take the eyelashes that I have joined together, and I'll put the glue on that. And then I take them and I fit them on there perfectly. I try to do a perfect job in getting them on right. But if my eye is lazy that day, it is not gonna work. You feel me? But that's just a beauty tip I wanted to give out to my younger sisters and my sisters. When we going in there and we making these people filthy rich off of our money, and we're a people who brought ideas to America. A lot of our ideas were stolen, you know, or tricked away from us. Ooh, you fried that chicken so good. What'd you put in it? And then there goes Kentucky Fried Chicken. You feel me? Like yeah. Speaking of that, I don't know who gave Hardee's, my grandmama, recipe to the fried bologna and egg and cheese sandwich, giving away our secrets. Why you doing it? I have to throw some comedy in this place, man. I can't play in the sun, so I got to make my whole house fun. And this is how I do it. And my sisters and my brothers, I love all of you. Okay, now there go another hating testimony for you. Okay, now, Bim, let me treat me some orange soda in an orange cup. I told you I am a female Migo, an older one too. I'm 50. I'm 50 years old. I was talking to someone the other day, and she said, "You're aging backwards." So I said, "What does that mean?" I was like, "Are you serious? What does that mean?" And she's like, "You're looking younger, but your mind is wise." And I took that in as a compliment. I said, "Well, thank you, thank you." So I got that Benjamin Button. Okay, all right, all right. Ooh, I got that Benjamin Button. Okay. All right, all right, all right. Anyway, back to that hater testimony. This is gonna do it. Papa John's. Papa John worked at Pizza Hut for years, as he told us. And he did not like the way they did their pizza. It didn't taste good. Papa John's, you were right. Okay, so he got flack from them. Oh, yes, he did. People will make you think that you can't do something. They'll make you try to feel like you can't do it. Like, oh, it's impossible for you to do that. I'm the only one that can do it. He showed you, okay? Papa John's got Papa John's everywhere. That's the hater testimony from Papa John's. I had to put him in on this segment because I love Papa John's pizza. Did you ever taste that big giant New Yorker? What about that shakaroni off the chain? Thank you, Mr. Papa John's. If had not he saw their flaw that they didn't see. Some people have a flaw you can't tell them because if you tell them, then they'll get angry with you about it, and then they'll be offensive. And then the next thing you know, you got issues. You know, issues that you don't want, issues that you don't need, issues that you don't deserve, all sorts of issues coming at you. And I love that testimony from Papa John's, you know, and it worked. It's awesome and it worked. Now, I have another hater testimony. I like to do 3 at a time. We do our hater testimonies and we do our cosmetic justice from the cosmos. And then we have our testimonies of love and faith. And then there goes the hater testimony that we must have in our life. 50 Cent. Okay. Somebody shot up 50 Cent and he lived. The person that did that to him died. Okay. 50 Cent rule. 50 Cent. I want to be in one of your movies. I want to be in one of the little segments. I'm telling you. Where is 50 Central? Is it coming back? I used to crack up laughing. I would get up, and the first thing I hit the thing, bitch, I'm up. 50 Central, 50 Cent. People live, breathe, and live your life no matter what you're doing. I got that Benjamin Button. You know what I'm saying? Hater. All that stuff you talking, you ain't saying nothing. You better get up, get out, get something. That's what you need to do because I'm doing this and I love it. Now, let me tell you another angel story. Oh my goodness. A couple of weeks ago, I was in here in my house and my phone rang. It's this little old lady. She's looking for someone named Liz. So I answered the phone. She goes, Liz? I said, no, ma'am, you got the wrong number. Oh, I apologize so much. I apologize. No, I said, no, ma'am. You don't have to apologize. I was going through a little tough little moment at that time. And we hung up. So I was in the room the other morning, sitting at my bed, and she said, and my phone rang. It's the little old lady. So she goes, I was riding down the street to the doctor's. And the Lord told me to call that young lady that I called by mistake the other day. I can tell in your voice that you were stressing out. Are you all right today? People, the tears welled up in my eyes. I was missing my mama. I missed my mama because I'm an only child. And at a time we weren't really close. And then we got close. And then the Lord took her home with him. So I'm in my room at my vanity set, missing my mom. And there goes this woman. And me and her talk. I fought back the tears, telling her, no, everything's okay, everything's okay. So she says, okay, if you need to talk to me about anything, feel free to call me. She told me her name. Now, her first name meant something to me. but her last name was May. And I'm like, what? My mama was born May the 5th, 1957. She left out this world May the 3rd, 2 days before her birthday, 2012. And this woman name, last name is May. How coincidental could that be? So I knew right then that was from God. That woman was a real angel being sent to me to talk me through that day. I called her yesterday and talked to her. She was on her way to the doctor's office and we talked. She came out the doctor's office. She was supposed to call me back, but she didn't call back. So I'm gonna check with her today and find out. So she says this to me. I can tell by your voice that you're Black. I said, yes, ma'am. Do you know what my race is? I said, yes, ma'am, you're white. She said, yes, I am. And I'm 69 years old. She told me her life on the farm. So she's in the country. I'm a country girl too, I said. I rode horses when I was a girl up in Newington, Georgia, with my grandparents, George and Anna Lou Retz. So, yes. And I remember those summers. Boy, we used to have some big cookouts. Wow. I miss my cousins. I do. But one day I'll see them again. Everybody all grown and gone and got children. But I've never been married. And I don't think that I ever want to be married because I have this unspeakable joy that I had to take years to get back. Ladies, listen up, people, men and you women, listen. However long you're in a relationship with someone and you guys break up, that's how long it's going to take for you to get to know yourself again. Okay? If you've been with someone for 8 years, 5 years, 2 years, whatever, that's how long it's going to take you to relearn yourself as a single woman or a single man. And in that time, you're going to discover everything that you forgot about yourself, and you're going to discover things about yourself you didn't know that you could do. You know, you'll have a clear understanding because for all those years, you were thinking for two people. Baby, you want your steak tonight? Because I'm gonna make a steak tonight. What you want with it? All that right there. Sometimes I go to bed and none of them ate me a strawberry Smucker's jam and peanut butter sandwich and some milk. You know what I mean? I'm freed up. My mind is freed up. Now I done started a podcast. Now my grandchildren are coming over. I have started decorating my place. People are giving me compliments on my sobriety, on the way I'm carrying myself. You know, I don't expect for anyone that don't find me a conqueror to compliment me on my spiritual come up, you know, and I don't expect that from no one because if you do, you'll be let down because someone could secretly be hating on you. It could be your ex-lover, you know. Um, he could be or she could be mad at you for leaving them. And they don't know how to express that themselves. So they may use other people to try to make you feel like you ain't doing nothing. But really you done left a mark in that brother heart and he don't really know how to handle it. So now he can't tell you himself. So he got to act a certain kind of way. So I'm just letting y'all know that that'd be a big front. Okay. And women do that too, you know. So and you know, just do you for that amount of years. Get to know yourself. You'll find so much joy when you get to know yourself again. Okay? I don't care how old you are, how many years you've been there in that relationship. You got to get to know yourself. Don't just jump right into something else immediately like that. That you'll set yourself up for a downfall. Okay? And there's one thing I need to let you all know that when we're in recovery, when you're a recovering addict, they specifically and strongly encourage you not to date anyone in that circle with you, in that recovery circle, because if it don't work out, you could go back to using. Things like that could happen. So that's a big piece of great advice for anyone to use. In recovery, you do not want to date someone in recovery. Okay? You want to do that thing on your own because life is a self program. You came in the world alone, you're going to leave out the world alone. So life is self program. Program your life the way you want to program your life and do it good. Do that. Do that. That's what you need to do. And so going on and down the line, I am very proud of my 10-year-old. He got promoted. He get ready to go to middle school to a STEM academy. I am so happy about that. Oh my God, don't know what to do. I'm beside myself because he's not a little baby no more. He's starting, he's actually a big guy. Yeah, he's a very big guy. And so in love with that, in love with that, and in love with my grandchildren. Things are so good. I want to say great and amazing on the other side of this. And there's nothing wrong with you being a recovering addict. And I want you to feel no shame. There should be no shame in your pain at all. Share it. You'll be surprised of the people who will admire you. You'll be surprised at the people who would flock around you just to get that information, that advice, that tool. How did you do it? You'll feel like a superhero. And it'll be wonderful, I'm telling you. And my sisters that are already been in their sobriety for years and years, like I have, I would like to tell you guys, congratulations. Happy birthday. You're a new person. Happy birthday, my sisters, and my brothers too. I talked to my brother, I told you, and he was telling me he's like, guys get tempted too, by girls, by women, they do it too. They mess men up too. So I think that I told you guys this before, but yeah, it works both ways. You know what I mean? But I just want all of my little sisters to know that these teeth, these are my war wounds, my jungle trench wounds. That's what this is. And I do not want you guys to get out there and get on no demon substance because now that demon substance that I used to do look like candy compared to what out there now. It is. And all of you beautiful women out there, my beautiful young sisters, please use your heads. Don't be enticed by love or loyalty to some friend or trying to fit into some group. It doesn't matter. Everyone don't belong together in the same group. Everyone is not going to fit in the same group. And I am glad about that because if you don't fit in, then guess what? You're not supposed to. You're not the missing piece of the puzzle. You're that standout one. You know, your puzzle isn't a flat one. You that 3D one. So that's why you stand out. That's why you're so looked at. That's why you are admired about that. Okay. Now that the little wisdom, I said I'm going to give you guys a little wisdom. Wisdom. Guys, girls, wisdom. Young lady, you meet a guy And he's telling you how gorgeous and beautiful you are. And it's true. You are beautiful. You are gorgeous. Don't get into a sexual relationship until you are ready for that. Don't do that. There are a lot of people who will be hurt by this decision, mainly your mother, your father. And when your big brother tell you don't mess with that dude, your big brother knows that dude, and him and that dude do the same things, and he don't want you to be a victim. Okay? Now to my sisters out there, my older sisters, sometimes we get sucked in by what people are saying. The guy might say he do this and he do that, or he gonna do this for you. Don't fall for that either. Don't believe the hype. Okay? I figured this. I was born in 73. I grew up in the 80s. And in the 90s, I became an adult all on through there, where my children came, my older children came in my life in the 90s. Now, when I was a child in the 80s, there was a drug epidemic and there was a disease epidemic, which was called AIDS and HIV. Okay. HBO made a movie called the Band Played On because they were trying to give people information to save their lives and no one was listening. So AIDS became worse and worse. Some people had AIDS, they did not know it. They gave blood to the Red Cross, and then the Red Cross was using this contaminated blood. So that's how some little kids got it. Little kids that was like 10 years old that hurt themselves really bad and they needed a blood transfusion. And they went to the blood bank at the Red Cross and this child ended up having AIDS. It was very hard back there for people with HIV because a lot of people were not using protection. Okay? So ladies, if some dude is after your butt and he keep on coming at you and telling you how fine you is and let me tell you this or this whatever, tell that brother this. I'm feeling you too. Let's go down here to the health center and get ourselves checked out. I know I'm good, but I'm just saying, but I don't know about you. And if you're a man that's wise, then you would want to know before you do what you want to do with me. So then you ask him to go. Don't let him show you nothing. That don't mean nothing. That don't mean anything. You go with him. If that's what you feel like you want to do, you know, and you make sure he's good before you lay with him. And still wear a condom. Surgeon General tells us this. He said that if you have sex with a person unprotected, and you're having sex with the last 10 people that this person has had sex with because of our environments crossing over with each other. If he's feeling you like that and you thinking you're so gorgeous, you're so cute, I like your style, whatever, take his butt down there to that health center. My brothers do the same thing. Y'all go get yourself checked out. Life is too short, man. And it's expensive. I mean, you already got to do this and do that to even leave at your front door sometimes. That's why I encourage people, watch your news in your city. Watch the world news. That's a good thing. But watch that news in your city. You'll know where to ride at, where you can't ride, what's happening, the weather, whatever. Be aware of everything. That's a little bit of wisdom I want to tell you guys on a Wildin' Out Wednesday. You know, I don't want to make it be so serious with my people. I love my people. I do. But there's some of my people that I do not get along with because they are not people like me. I get along with people like me. Let me tell you this funny story. Okay, I had saw this lady once, right? And she was all perfect. And so I said to her, I only be around women like me. That we're cut from a different texture. So she looks at me And she goes, a different texture, huh? So she's a black woman. So what she thought I was saying is that I only be around white women. I only want to be friends with white women. I'm like this, like, by the look on her face, I looked at her. I said, no, I'm not talking about color. I'm talking about experience. I only be around women with the same experience. Those are my friends. Those are my sisters because we have had the same experience. So her whole face, it went from being a frown to a nice, soft, subtle, oh, so what was your drug of choice? And by her literature and her her verbiage, I could tell that she was a recovering addict. And it shocked both of us that we were both recovered addicts. And from that day, we were friends. She lives in a whole different town from me. I was where she was at one time in my life, and I met her. So, how you verbalize and how you use your verbiage is awesome. Don't speak garbage. This is Wilding Out Wednesday with the wisdom on the side. I want you guys to acknowledge your shortcomings and fix them. If you got haters and you're doing good, they have to hate it. They supposed to. They supposed to do that. Look how you live. Girl, look how you live. Okay. And I recommend Donald's Little Donald therapy song, Do Better, for every woman who has been through heartache and pain. Okay. I was watching Cheaters last night, right? And this woman named Sharon and this guy named Bentley. Oh my God. Sharon uprooted herself from Houston, Texas to go where Bentley was. Bentley had brought her a ring, but she didn't want to sex with him, make love to him until they were married, you know? And he agreed, yes, okay, fine, fine, fine. But at the same time, he was sexing someone on the side. Bought her a ring too. Sharon hired cheaters, and cheaters, they found out that Bentley was really not the guy that he was trying to parlay to Sharon. And when she caught him, she told him she was going to leave him and go back to where she was from, Houston, Texas. This sister was crushed and hurt, really hurt. Bentley tried to run, girl. Bentley tried to run through the doggone water fountain. He was running through that. This dude is so big and handsome. Okay, I gotta give him that. And he's running through this, running through the water, and he running so hard until he like trips up and he busts his lip. And when he stops and turns around. The little girl named Taylor, Taylor is upset. Oh my God, you know. But Sharon said these words: I'm leaving you. You have made me look like a fool. Look how you brought me all the way from my hometown for me to be here with you, and you're disgracing me. You're making me look like a fool. I said, you know what? That got to be some very harsh feelings there. And I can relate to that as well. Because where I was happy. And I thought being blinded by love and hope, that would blind you. If you've broken up with someone and they talk to you and say to you, I miss you, I want you back, you can be blinded. You will be, because I was blinded by hope and love. And the only thing that I could see now with those intentions of this guy was just to bring me back here to Savannah so that I could look like I'm the bad guy or some kind of a conspiracy, you know, So I used to fear for my life. I really did because I I knew that this person had something to do with law enforcement. And I feared for the safety of my life and for the safety of my older children and my little boy because of the way that some people are so underhanded that they will get someone else to do their dirty work for them. And the intention is to poke and poke and poke until they push your button and you make the ultimate mistake, and that ultimate mistake is to charge at someone because they have provoked you to do this. Don't do that part. See through everything is what I was given to do. Someone said to me, he brought you here because you hurt him. You stomped on his ego and he's hurt. Now he's going to bring you here to disgrace you, make you look like a fool. But those were his intentions. But those are not the intentions of your Heavenly Father. Because since I've been here, I have made so many strides in my life. And I am so glad at myself because I know that my Heavenly Father is proud of me. I have let go of an addiction to marijuana because I tried to smoke that pain away. But when that marijuana was gone, that pain was still there, And now I've done so many different things that are so good and so positive until I know that whatever plan that it was set for me to fail has not failed. Because every woman around the world at some point in their lives have been through all sorts of abusive type of men. Abusive men comes, I say, in four forms: physical, mental, emotional, and physical, mental, emotional, and it's another one. It's only four. I mean, three. Yeah. The abusive one. The one that messes with your emotions, that have you up and down like that. And then that mental guy who tell you things like you're all I need, and no one's gonna love you like I do. And though, yeah, the fourth one is the guy that do all of the other things, all wrapped in one. And all of those things are bad for women. It's very bad for us to go through that. And because some women do not come out of these situations alive, or they end up in prison, or they'll end up hurt really bad. So I would advise all of my sisters to listen to everything I said today because this is rounding out Wisdom Wednesday, kicking knowledge that you didn't have to go to college for. Okay? Everything that you go through and you're a woman with children, your children are going to go through that too. If that guy is their father, or if he's not their father, your children get attached to whatever you're attached to. And remember, your kids are going to be your best friends forever. Every relationship that you get into, it may go forward or it may fail. Just know that your children are going to always be in your life, even after these guys are gone out of your life. Your children are going to be in your life always. And so my advice is to keep your eye on the sparrow. You keep your eye on the sparrow, and God will take care of you. where you can take care of your children. Okay? And my little sisters out here, please, I gotta let you guys know this. If you have some kind of government housing, Section 8, my advice to tell, I want to let you guys know that just don't let some guy come in your house and mess up your blessing. That place is really not your place. It's your children's house. So if you meet a guy and he gets angry with you and he does something to you, that government property, he don't care 2 cents about your child, because those places are for our children. Those places are for you to settle down with your children, not a place for you to keep letting all these different dudes come in and they destroy and mess up your blessing. Then other women that don't do this, it'd be hard for us to get it again. They'll take it away because they'll feel like the only thing they're going to do is let these guys come in and mess it up. Pay attention to that. If they messing up your home, trying to put holes in your wall, busting your windows, all that type of stuff there, they don't care about your kids. Because if they cared about your kids, they would not mess up them children's blessing. That's not for you. It's for them. That place is for your children. It looks like mankind gave it to you. Yeah. But God really blessed you with it. Now, I know from experience, and from experience from my other sisters out here in the world, those places was given to us at the right time, wasn't it? Everywhere you went and you got turned down, but boom, at the right time, God showed up and blessed you with that place. That's not yours alone. It is for your children. Think about this. It's for your children. Keep your eye on the sparrow, your children. Don't worry about what dad doing out there. Treat your children right, with respect. Your little children that gotta have a roof over their head and a floor under their little teeny little feet, and that refrigerator filled up with them coupons. Do that. I'm not judging no one. I'm just loving everyone. That's it. I'm not judging you. I am showing you love. I'm loving you. Because I was a young woman once before. But that there, I didn't tolerate it. And I don't want you guys to do it either. Stay on task. Stay being mama. Stay being a queen. This podcast has been brought to you by Denise Jenkins, not alone, blessed and comforted by the Holy Spirit, and given to you as a gift from our Heavenly Father. Please like my podcast, subscribe, give me your comments, and please give me those cue cards. I love you guys very much. Have a good one and take care.